One of the newest technologies to enter our lives is the internet. It's turned our computers into a source of quick and easy information that no one would have dreamed possible. Today, we can sit in the comfort of our own home and do everything from buying books to paying bills to saving the life of a child thousands of miles away. Yes, that's exactly what happens in our next story when the World Wide Web lives up to its name in a most miraculous way. In 1997, Yuanxin Deng left his wife and son in China to complete his doctorate at the University of Western Australia in Perth. But as often as possible, he called home to check on his family.
Dana, 是我，你好吗？
I did not expect anything bad. I just asked her, how is our son?
收收怎么样啊？
She cried and she told me our son was diagnosed as congenital heart defects. The doctor told my wife he's not curable.
说什么？
It was very hard for me to accept that. Before that, I always thought he was a normal child.
With nowhere to turn, Yuanxin searched the internet hoping to find information on congenital heart defects and perhaps someone who could save his child's life.
But I did not have any money, so I just tried to contact any charitable organizations I could find. I just sent out about 500 emails to the organizations and hospitals and, doctors.
His message ended with a heartfelt plea from a father facing the loss of his only child.
I told them he has very serious congenital heart defects, but he's very beautifully alive, and I believe he deserves your help.
Halfway around the world in Pendleton, Oregon, Yuanxin's message appeared on Mary Ann Whalen's computer screen.
The letter said, "To all the kind people of the world, please help me save my son." And I read it, and immediately my heart just went boing. And I knew how he felt because my son was sick. I emailed him immediately and told him that I would do whatever I could to help him.
Mary Ann began contacting names on the PD Heart List, an internet support group for parents of children with congenital heart disease.
I wrote that the world is too rich to let this child die without a fight.
Her message caught the attention of Dr. Juan Alejos, a pediatric cardiologist at UCLA's Children's Hospital.
I emailed Miriam back and I told her that I was very concerned that based on the information I had, I thought that his chances of survival were very slim. And for me to make an accurate assessment that I would need to see Shosho, do my own ultrasound, and potentially do the heart catheterization to measure pressures in his heart.
As soon as Dr. Alejos gave us the thumbs up, I emailed Yuanxin with the great grand news, and he was very excited.
I was very happy. I saw real hope then. If only I can get my son to a good hospital, he will not be, untreatable.
Yuanxin gave up his studies to return to China and obtain U.S. visas for himself and his family. Meanwhile, Mary Ann began searching the PD Heart List for someone in Los Angeles willing to host the Deng family during their stay. Brenda Isaacs Booth discovered the message on the internet and was immediately struck by similarities between Shosho's condition and her own 1.5-year-old son, Liam.
The fact that we had been told the same thing, that Liam was inoperable, nothing could be done, and then to read it from somebody else definitely was a huge motivating factor. I kept thinking over and over, what if they were told the same thing that we were told, and it's not true? This child is really operable, something can be done to help him, but they just need another opinion. And I thought, well, how could I say no? My child's surgeries were at the same hospital. I know all the surgeons and the cardiologists there, so it just seemed fated for me to do this.
Okay, Marianne, so is everything all set up for them to come?
Arrangements were made
And
for the
plane
Dengs to
tickets?
fly to the U.S.,
Okay, now how much does UCLA want?
but there was still a major problem.
Oh, wow. Okay, how much have we raised so far? $200? You've got to be kidding.
And I thought, well, we're bringing them here and we have no money to even pay for the testing. So I got on the phone and hit up everybody in my family for money.
$5,000?
And one of my brothers said he was going to give $5,000. I just burst into tears. I was just sobbing, crying. I couldn't believe.
No, I'm okay. That is so generous of you.
Time was of essence to get this child help.
Thank you so much.
So I just started getting money from everyone in my
Talk to
family.
you later. Okay.
Then I was able to write them and say, guess what? I've got it.
够钱了，真的不相信。
I've got enough money from my family to make all this happen.
好。
On January 30th, 1998, Brenda finally met the Deng family face to face.
Oh, they're here.
Finally seeing them after several months of just emailing back and forth, it made it real that this was really happening. But it made it more emotional in the sense that I started really hoping, oh God, please let this work out. Because once you've met and you see each other's faces and you start interacting, it solidifies the relationship even more.
Brenda, we have a gift for Liam.
Thank you. That's It was like this connection that we had that just became so much stronger once we were in person because of the commonality we had of fighting for our children's lives. It just was a kind of excitement and joy. It's like that kind of excitement that you get when you're happy but scared.
5 days later, Shosho was hospitalized for a series of tests conducted by Dr. Alejo's team.
There was a lot of tension and a lot of stress because we knew that that heart cath was the determining test that was going to tell us whether Shosho was operable or not.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Dane. Hi.
Shosho.
He's doing fine. His pressure, it's a little higher than we expected. Saying whatever you're doing.
The doctor told me that Shosho's pulmonary pressure was too high to have any surgeries.
And I mean, I think it was a pretty unanimous among the cardiologists and the surgeons that this risk was higher than normal.
你等一下。
I went with the doctor to the hallway and I asked him,
Please help my son. Please do something to save him.
and the doctor told me,
Not to do something might be better than to do something.
It was extremely heartbreaking, but I told them that we were not done, that I would send Shosho's test to other doctors and other hospitals. We weren't just going to give up with that one diagnosis.
The emotional conclusion, when it's a miracle, continues. When he learned that his 3-year-old son, Shosho, was suffering from congenital heart defects, Yunshin Deng began an internet search that led him to 2 angels in America. And with the support of Marianne Wayland and Brendan Isaacs Booth, the Deng family was brought to the United States, where Shosho was given a battery of tests. The results were not good.
His pressure, it's a little higher than we expected.
But Brenda refused to give up. And when she accidentally ran into her son's surgeon in the hospital hallway, she approached him with her concerns.
Dr. Lax, can I talk to you for just a second?
Yes, hello, Brenda. Certainly.
You remember Shosho, the little boy I was telling you about? Would you be willing to look at his cath results and tell me honestly if anything at all can be done to help him?
Why, certainly, Brenda. I'd be happy to do that.
Yes? Well, they're right here, so I'll tell them. We get a phone call a week to 2 weeks later. Dr. Lax thinks his surgery should be done and that he can do it.
He says he's operable.
And it was like, rejoice, hallelujah, this is wonderful.
some new hope came and we could not, hold our happiness.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Unfortunately, the surgery was very expensive, and once again, finances became an issue.
Brenda, how do we get the money?
Look, I don't want you to worry about that. He kept saying, where are we going to get this money? I mean, where are we going to get this money? And I kept saying, you know what? I don't know where, but I'll get it. I will get it. I mean, this one is something that happened all through the internet and through email. So
Brenda understood the power of the media, and so she spent hours trying to convince a reporter at a local paper to publish Shosho's story. When it finally hit the stands, a miraculous chain of events was set into motion.
The other heart stories, I get a call the morning that this article comes out from somebody at NBC. Tom Brokaw saw it? Tom Brokaw wants to do a feature on it. And it was just like a snowball. The Today Show did 7 segments on Shosho. The NBC Nightly News did 3 segments. You're kidding me. And I get a call from NBC telling me that $50,000 has been donated.
$50,000?
I just started sobbing and crying and thanking them.
We now got the money for his
Within a
first
few
surgery.
days, donations from around the world had reached $100,000.
I was just shocked. I did not think it would come so quickly.
On April 14th, 1998, Shosho was prepped for surgery.
When you hand over your child to that anesthesiologist and they take him through those swinging doors to go to the OR, and you don't know if you're ever going to see your child alive again, it rips your insides.
I would say I never cried so much in my life. We were scared, but we did not know if he could come out of that operation room alive or not.
It was extremely, extremely emotional and scary. Very much so.
Several hours later, Dr. Lax gave the Dengs the news they'd been praying for.
Well, I think I can safely say that everything has turned out very well.
I told them that the pressure had come down better than we had expected with very good oxygenation, and so they were very sincerely happy that things had turned out well at that point.
That was the best news we have ever heard. That Shosho was not hopeless.
I remember Yung-Shin looked at me and said,
Thank you, Brenda. You saved my child's life.
and it was a lot of people that did that. You know, it took a lot of people to donate the money, and Marianne's helped to get him over here, and my family's helped to get the testing, so it definitely wasn't just me, but it was a feeling like I've never had before of gratification. And it made you feel very small in a very big world.
Today, Shosho is an active 5-year-old.
Shosho is doing very well now. He's had open heart surgery, but he plays around just like a normal child. He's a happy boy. He is Liam's best friend, and Liam is his best friend too. They play together all the time.
He's a miracle child. I mean, here's a child who was given no chance to live and no chance of surgery, and he defied all the odds. He came halfway across the world and found life again.
I would say Brenda is really an angel to Shosho. We are extremely grateful to Brenda. I would tell everybody, offer donations, offered information, offered services, or any kind of help to Shosho. I would say to them, we are so grateful to you. You saved Shosho's life.
In preparing this story, we learned that congenital heart defects are the most common birth defects, but they're also the least publicized. So we've invited Brenda and the Deng family to join us and share some more information. Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hi, Richard.
First of all, how's Shosho doing?
Shosho is doing very well. He recovered after surgery, he recovered after 5 days. So after that, he keeps active. he's happy, he's stronger.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Brenda, I know that this experience has changed your life, and I hear that you have your own foundation now.
Yes, basically what I did was, after bringing Shosho over and the success that we had with that, I started a fund called Little Hearts on the Mend under the umbrella of the Heart of a Child Foundation. And it's a nonprofit, and our goal is to help pay for children's heart surgeries for children whose families cannot afford them. So I've brought since another little girl from China, and she's also doing very well, and hopefully we'll be able to help a lot of children get the surgeries that they really, really need.
That's terrific.
And we have a website. I have a website. You can find us at www.littleheartsonthemend.org. And I have websites for Shosho. I have kind of a diary of everything he's been through, and I have pictures of he and Liam, and it's been really neat. I have people from all over the world who visit his site and send me wonderful letters, and it's been really great.
Well, after this, I'm sure you'll be getting a lot more messages from our viewers, and I know that they'll be thanking you for sharing your story with us. Take care, everybody.
Bye, Richard.
Bye.